Hello and welcome to IABM TV. I'm delighted today to be joined by two special guests. We have Sumit Rai, the Chief Product Officer at Blackbird, and Mo Volans, the SVP from Product Marketing. Gentlemen, hello and welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Sumit, we're going to start with you. So just tell us a bit about your background and why you are suddenly arrived at Blackbird.
So I've spent 20 years in the video and film and broadcast video industry. And at the very beginning, I was an editor, but found myself very quickly working more on the engineering side. And so after being CTO for a post-production company in 2002, I founded Kulu Valley, which was a video streaming company. Mainly, this was the early days, obviously, of video streaming. It was pre-YouTube. And we specialized in helping large organizations stream video content around their offices, around their buildings, to their staff, as well as out into the market. And we became very popular with the financial services market, the pharmaceutical market. And then in 2014, that company was acquired by a NASDAQ company. And so for the last few years, especially over COVID, I then found myself running the former Sony Vegas Pro editing platform, where Mo also joined me there. And we took that platform from really into the new world of more social media and content creation for YouTube and for influencers and social and things like that. And so that was a great experience. But the one thing that was really, very clear is that the future for almost all productivity tools has been to go online. And Blackbird, which was a company I'd known for 15 years, I've known the founder, Stephen Streeter, on and off over that period. And Blackbird is just very, very well placed to take advantage of that with the new platform that we're going to be building.
Wow. Okay. I'm desperate to ask you about that, but Mo, tell us a bit about your background first.
Yeah, so my background's primarily in music industry and pro audio for the majority of my career. I was a music producer for a long time and ended up writing for magazines, and then moving away from that and doing some training, video training. I started working in product, quite early in my executive career, if you like, and rolled out a number of sort of high profile plugins and audio products, and ended up running global marketing teams and product teams at the companies I was working at, and ended up as director of product marketing at a place called Brainworks and Plugin Alliance, running a large team there. And moving towards being independent, I set up my own agency, set up my own hardware company, exited that. And after a brief stint at Abbey Road, consulting for them, I met Sumit, and Sumit was at Vegas at the time, and actually turned down a job to go and work with him, which was, after a long conversation and meeting him, it was just a good combination, our skill sets, I think. And as Sumit said, we took Vegas, a long way. And after being there for some time, I actually strangely looked up Blackbird, and Sumit already knew the team at Blackbird, and I was like looking at them as a potential partner, or just looking at their tech, and it was, obviously impressive. And we've come across together, and it's working really well. And my job at the moment is SVP product marketing, and I'm looking after customer journey, UX, anything that touches the customer directly. I'm looking after marketing and building out the new marketing team, and really concentrating on that as we move forwards, and really thinking about the message and the position of the new platform.
Okay, wow, that is some little CV you just ran us through, and very impressive indeed. And Sumit, coming back to you, how does your role slightly differ then from that of Mo?
So my overall responsibility is the product offering and how that interfaces with our engineering team. So because we are evolving what we do as a company quite substantially and accessing a much broader market, we are obviously going to have to build things in a slightly different way and package them in a different way. So my main focus is probably across the offering, from engineering and then interfacing with Mo in marketing, and overall looking after the customer experience.
Good stuff. So Mo, looking at coming back to you, just what are the challenges facing video content creators in your opinion right now? Because I mean, the industry has changed massively in the last probably even the last month. You know, I mean, the speed of change at the moment is ridiculous. So what specifically are the challenges you think that they're facing right now?
Yeah, it's a really great question. I think that since my time in video, you know, coming across from audio into video and seeing them come together, I've seen a change already in the past few years, you know, and as Sumit said, in Vegas, we saw a change there and we implemented a change. I think that currently we've been running a lot of focus groups and we've been talking to a lot of editors of various skill levels. And what we're seeing is the main problem is that they have a convoluted workflow. You know, they have a convoluted daily process, even whether they realize it or not. And often they don't. You know, we're speaking to editors with a lot of experience and they have these prep days. They're spending half their time on IT. They're using disparate products and services, and they may like it. They may actually, you know, enjoy that process somewhat. I know that, you know, some of us with technical minds do, but it's lengthy, it's convoluted, and you know, we think that this leads to a difficulty in collaboration, a difficulty, you know, in working together because of these disparate products. They end up adding another service or product to collaborate, whether it's, you know, Frame or Google Sheets or whatever it is. We're seeing all kinds of methodology, honestly, but it's still convoluted, and this leads to high costs and, you know, a lack of efficiency essentially. And I think that this is one of the main challenges. People are paying for all these different services and products. So I think this has to be one of the main challenges we're seeing for most people's workflow.
How do video content creators succeed then in the modern world?
Well, I think with everything I've just described, it's best endeavors, right? You know, they're you know, if you're sticking with these current products and you're going to stick with these convoluted workflows, that's a choice. Some people will, some people have to. But I think that moving forward, looking at new products and especially the platform we're designing, I believe that it's reducing moving parts. It's reducing this complication. It's getting rid of this convoluted workflow, and it's bringing everything together in one single place. I think that if we can do that, then we reduce costs. You know, we reduce time from conception to delivery. We give people the fastest route from A to B. And I think that's what most people that we've spoken to are looking for. They're not looking to add services. They're not looking to add complexity. They're looking to make things simpler. And they all want to collaborate. They want to work together. You know, I think that, you know, whether it's review and approve, whether it's working directly on a timeline together, whether it's involving, you know, stakeholders of different skill sets in their team, we're seeing that time and time again. People want to work together. So we believe that these things combined will result in the best experience.
So, Sumit, switching over to you, you know, both of you have teased the new platform. I think it's time I asked that question. You know, tell us about that and how Blackbird can be best placed to solve some of these issues that Mo's just mentioned.
So, if you look at Blackbird over the last 20 years, the company's been pioneering in providing online editing, almost the only people in the game for a long time. And part of the reason that that's been possible is because we create our own codec. Our codec makes it very easy for you to browse video online. And it's very efficient. It has a feel which is very much like using a desktop editing tool. And so that's been hugely successful in high-end customers, which we have many of. And we've evolved that product quite substantially. However, as you mentioned, in the last 20 years, the market has changed dramatically. 20 years ago, video was pretty much limited to film and television, and then a small amount in other niche areas. Now that's actually the smallest part of the industry, and the social media and content creation industries, education, even the hobbyist space is much larger. So the reason why Blackbird's in a good position is because we have all this experience from the past, and we have all this IP and engineering that we've done to solve a very complex problem. And we're now able to use that and put it into a package which is much more accessible to the average user of today rather than that of tomorrow. And the main benefits of that really are that you don't require a lot of desktop performance. So video, as it gets, as years go by, it gets bigger in size, the file sizes get bigger, the complexity gets bigger, the effects become more sophisticated. And with all of that, the requirements of you on your own localized hardware obviously increases. But as Mo mentioned earlier, one of the biggest things that we've seen is a change, especially over COVID, with the want and desire of people to collaborate. Right now, when we spoke to different users in the user group, everybody was using an online platform to collaborate and together their shot lists, for example. So whether that was Google Docs or whether it was a project management software online, and then they're going away and working on desktop tools in a very isolated way. And that process of moving the data around, moving the projects around, is really quite time consuming and convoluted. Being a cloud provider and having a platform where at the heart of it, people can come in from different disciplines, approve things, review things, all without you having to go through that constant process of exporting, rendering things off, uploading things, and using then other third-party tools to actually perform things like review and approve, means that we can keep everybody on our platform. We are making our platform extensible. We don't have the monopoly on ideas. So it means that we'll be able to leverage other people's technology, either as part of our own offering or because they'll be able to plug in and provide that to our users. And so for us, it's really taking all the expertise that we've had in the past and making it just more accessible in a more easy to use and at a lower price point.
Sumit, the way you've described that new platform there was great. Begs a question in my head. Obviously Blackbird was one of those first truly cloud native editing products. What you're talking about now is more perhaps I wouldn't say open source platform, but certainly a platform that other partners and providers can use and plug into, as you say. Does that mean Blackbird will be out in the market looking for technology partners with this new platform?
We'll definitely be looking to extend the capabilities of our platform with partners and even just regular users. One of the things that's important to us is that our extensible approach allows people to not only write plugins for getting video into our platform, but also for processing that platform and then for distributing that platform. So whilst we may take care in the example of distribution with direct upload to the popular online video sharing sites, we do know that then we're very well aware of all the different video platforms that are out there that may be used by organizations and education. And we want to welcome them to work with us to create those plugins so that we can create much more of an end-to-end offer to the users.
Okay. And Mo, one last question from me. What I've heard today, I'm kind of asking the question to myself in my own head here is, but Blackbird's always been a business to business organization, but the power of this platform and the way it's going to work, it's almost coming across as not quite maybe B2C, but certainly business to prosumer. Would you agree with that?
That's exactly right. I mean, I think that one of the personas we're looking at is actually prosumer, which is commonly misunderstood. That's actually producer and consumer together. So these are businesses in their own right. So the relationship with these consumers or customers is similar to B2B. It's almost a hybrid approach. And we're certainly interested in both sides and working with as many people as possible. We have a bit of an internal slogan as we're building, which is everything you need and nothing you don't. And that's really about decreasing potentially, burgeoning feature sets where most people aren't using, so 80% of people are only using 20% of many of the products. So we want to give the vast majority of people, whether they're small to medium businesses, whether they're even broadcast or individual consumers, as much functionality as possible to get most of their jobs done. We're very interested in teams within brands, working in, larger marketing and social teams, and that's very much a B2B relationship. So we'll be approaching on all fronts with this platform, and certainly we're not looking to alienate any customer. We're actually looking to include as many as possible with the offering.
Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, we've come to the end of our time today, so thank you so very much. It's been a pleasure to meet and to talk to you both.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.